First leg, Peter to throw first. Game on.
Peter Wright coming through at the expense of Mark Webster and Stephen Bunting. It was a very convincing win for Peter Wright in that match against the Bullets. James Wade's average, by the way, 87.4 against Price. It was the
60.
lowest of the winners this afternoon. We feel he needs to come up with something more here.
I know we say it all the time, but he always seems to raise his game when he needs to. Very
100.
often has a similar average, sometimes even a worse average than his losing opponent.
Maybe worth mentioning at this early stage of proceedings as well that the head-to-head standings are at level pegging at 14 apiece, but Wade has lost the last 8 against Peter Wright. Peter Wright has had a real hold over his opponents in the last, well, year or so. Last 8 meetings, all
100.
going the way of the number 2 seed here, including a fairly recent encounter in the Premier League as well, which Wright won 7-5. They have had meetings in Europe as well on the European Tour. In the European Darts Grand Prix last September, in fact, in Sindelfingen in the quarterfinals. So at this stage, and that was a match that Wright won by 6 legs to 3.
Well, that Premier League meeting was held in Glasgow, so the last twice that James Wade's met Peter Wright, he's having to contend with a crowd very much in favour of snakebite as well. But James Wade,
59.
after his quarter-final win, was quick to praise the German crowd. 3,000 fans have crammed in here.
Yeah, it's virtually at bursting point.
100.
The Sparkassen Arena for this evening session.
They do tend to support their favourites, whether that be a home nation qualifier or Peter Wright, who seems to be their darling at the moment. But they are quite respectful. They don't tend to boo and put players off. Now, Peter Wright, this will be very timely indeed to apply some pressure. But James Wade loves an 80 finish because he leaves one of his favourite doubles, and that double is double top, and this is for a break of throw.
60. Peter
Narrow
requires
miss.
76.
Well, he's left himself another of his favourite doubles, double 10, but he might not get the opportunity to have a crack at it. Let's see if Wright can take this out. Treble 24, double 8s for the opening leg of this second quarter-final.
So to the first leg, Peter Wright. Secondly, James to throw first.
Salvage that one because there was a point in time where James Wade was a marginal favourite to take that opening leg against the right throw, but it's Wright who comes out on top.
100.
Yeah, one dart missed to break, and these margins can be so important in best of 11 darts. That's the format that they play all the way through these European Tour events. You see the big TV events, it gets a bit longer as the tournament goes on.
140.
But not here on the European Tour stage. And the smallest of mistakes can have the player paying the biggest of prices.
$140.
Room for one more, plenty of room as
140.
well. Ton 40 plays ton 40 there. So it's still 40 point the cushion. That might be a turning point as well. Just stepping over to the right-hand side of the Oki, trying to find a way through, 45. But he pulls it low anyway, and Wade could only score 45 there, so Wright has effectively stolen the darts in this leg. Can he capitalise any further here? Well, he too is in danger of posting 45. He's just giving a quick glance. He's 196 away.
45.
You mentioned Wright's impressive record against Wade of late. As you said, they tied on the head-to-head overall, but won the last 8, 9 out of the last 10, Peter Wright, and
58.
Half of those matches have been quarter-final meetings. Peter Wright loves winning quarter-finals against James Wade, and a high-profile one at the World Championship, of course.
Yep, absolutely.
And Peter Wright's done something there that James Wade has never done in reaching the final.
158.
Well, this may have to go. Another one of those. Leaves double 19.
Game shot in the second leg.
That is
James Wade.
absolutely stunning from James Wade. There was a lot riding on that because Wright was on 76. But Wade has
Third
leveled the
leg,
match.
Peter to throw first.
It was only
Game
to
on.
hold, but it was important. You are watching two of the best finishers in the world of darts right now, and Peter Wright even tipped his glass to James Wade, appreciating the finish.
As well he might, but he might kick off with a 180 here. No, he won't.
140.
Well, he'd had a couple of sluggish visits in that leg, did James Wade, but the way he finished it off was very, very accomplished indeed.
95.
Well, Wright was waiting on 76. That's the shot he'd taken out in the previous leg. So James Wade may have had that feeling that if I don't take this, I could be broken and 2-0 down. We've seen James Wade produce that kind of
93.
thing several times in the past, and he keeps on doing it.
James Wade was a European Tour winner last year. He took the title
100.
in Hamburg to add to the one he won in Jib in 2014. 6-5 winner over Dave Chisnall in the final in Hamburg last year. He beat Gary Anderson in the last 16 and Michael van Gerwen in the semis.
Wade,
So again, no easy passage that day.
Wade 13 years a junior of Peter Wright. Interestingly,
140.
we know what James Wade's done early in his career. This is his 111th Pro Tour final. That's only one short of Phil Taylor's record.
Yeah. Thank you to Andy Scott of the
69.
PDPA for that one, although I'm sure
Peter
you were well on top of that
128.
anyway, Chris.
I've got his Twitter feed right in front of me.
But it just shows you, though, I mean, Wade celebrated his birthday recently, didn't he? Turned 33, so
96.
he's got time on his side to surpass Phil Taylor's record.
Yeah, well, and he's already achieved more than most professional dart players have achieved and perhaps will ever achieve. But Peter Wright,
140.
a late bloomer.
Peter requires 32.
Incredible journey, really, how
Game
Peter
shot
Wright
to
has
the third leg.
transformed his
Peter Wright.
career
Fourth
from
leg, James to throw
journeyman
first.
professional to one of the very best players in the world. World number 3, now a major champion, contender
96.
in every event that he plays. He's got his eyes set on going even higher in the world rankings. He wants to become world champion.
Could win the Premier League this year as well. That would be another feather in his cap.
But he said, didn't he? He didn't say if I win the Premier League, because after he won the UK Open
140.
and burst into tears on stage, he said I wouldn't cry, so when I win the Premier League, I'm not going to cry then. Certainly a
84.
confident character, Peter Wright.
Well, he's certainly not very shy. Plays to the crowd, and as well as being a flamboyant showman, as he say, backs it up very nicely by
140.
playing and producing some terrific darts week in, week out.
Interestingly, very unassuming behind the scenes, isn't he, Peter Wright?
Very quietly spoken as well.
140.
He describes his get-up as his kind of war paint. At home, he's Peter Wright. On stage, he's Snakebite. And he's hoping to land a big score to rattle James Wade here.
Yeah, because
130.
well, precisely that, because there is a chance here now for Peter Wright to break the Wade throw for a 3-1 lead. Wade has got work to do here. 160 away.
41.
140 away now.
Peter, you require 91.
In the balance, but he'd slightly favour Wright here. Treble 17 would have left tops.
He's going double-double, is he? Is that in? Must be.
I think it is, yep.
71. James, you require
Well, James Wade
140.
might not have liked that. I think it's a fair shot. It's almost a show of respect, going for too big a targets with your opponent on a large finish.
100.
Totally
Peter, you
agree.
require 20.
People see it as a bit showmanship, but it's common sense, you could argue. Anyway, double 10 here. Getting closer.
No score.
And a look of
James, you
absolute
require
bafflement on
40.
the face of Peter Wright as he steps up to retrieve them. Unable to find a way through, but James Wade loves double 10. He has to love double 5 now.
Team
There
shot
it
and a
is,
full
2 apiece.
flag.
Big
James Wade.
save that for James Wade.
The
Yeah,
flag
chance
Peter
missed
to throw
for Peter Wright
Game
to
on.
open up a bit of daylight.
He starts at double 10 for a 3-1 lead. Instead, it's level again at 2 apiece.
100.
We already know the winner will take on Jelle Klaassen, who moved through to his second successive European Tour semi-final. A good start for him on the Euro Tour this year. Peter Wright
60.
looking to do the same.
34th birthday, by the way, for James Wade last time out. I said he was 33.
I'm sure he won't mind that.
He won't mind that. He'll take that. Double carpet for James Wade.
100.
And there we see Peter Wright just over the 100 on the average.
26.
James Wade more than 10 points behind him.
80. $140.
Yeah, needed that second treble there to James Wade just to keep himself interested here because Wright was threatening to run away with this leg. But down to a finish first on his
105.
throw. And it could be that sort of match where we just tick over the legs until we find another breakthrough. And that'll get the crowd going. And it might get James Wade going as well. He's down to 95, so Peter Wright just has to watch his step again here.
He's been taking out shots like this very, very often, but he's not going to take it out now. Yes, it is in the 7, Peter, and you know what that means.
46. James require 95.
$82 left. Hope for the treble 14 to leave double top.
43.
In my opinion, the right shot with 2 darts in
70.
hand. Now can Peter find the right shot here?
Looking at treble 10 for tops.
50.
Well, it's just gone a bit cagey all of a sudden,
It
hasn't
has.
it?
Requires 52.
Just looking slightly edgy on his doubles all of a sudden. That's 12 for tops for James Wade. And he too is way above the wire, but the second dart is bang on the money. And James Wade has broken Wright's throw.
Six flag James to throw first. Game on.
Well, he's missed darts at doubles in the last couple of legs, Peter Wright. James Wade performing punishment on the world number 3.
100.
And there you see, Wright. Double percentage drop to a quarter hit.
140. $60.
6 from 9 and 6 from 10 in his first 2 matches for Peter Wright. He was fairly efficient on doubles in those wins over Webster and Bunting. He needs to just sharpen up on his doubles and his finishing when he gets
45.
into positions, because against a player of Wade's calibre, it's a very, very different story indeed. And Wade all of a sudden is just finding a greater degree of consistency here. If he can find another 60, and he has done.
140.
Their second highest tournament average up to this point, Peter Wright. Just above 97.
44.
A mere 13 points behind Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, 110 and 110 for Van Gerwen so far in his first 2 matches. He's looking ominous, isn't he?
55.
Well, 44 from Wright, 55 from Wade. Wright has got away with that one to an extent, but Wade is still in a good position here, and you'd rather be in his shoes in this 6th leg than Peter Wright's. And once again, Wright is struggling for a treble here.
59.
And he's once again had another visit without a single one.
Well, he's done a 158. The 146.
68 remaining here for James Wade.
Yeah, it didn't have to
94.
go. And you feel that the 158 they did in leg 2 did. He would have been 2-0 down. With Wright throwing first. How things have changed.
78.
Wright
James,
didn't even look
52.
as he threw that last dart in.
No, he didn't.
Did not even look.
Tops again here for James Wade.
And
Plane comes off.
James Wade.
And when he gets into those sorts of positions, you
Seven
really
flag
have to
Peter
fancy
to
him.
throw first.
Just a little bit
Game
of,
on.
well, nonchalance from Peter Wright, as if he'd given up in that particular leg. I don't know really what was going through his mind when he did that. It was very...
Well, it found the treble 19. These,
okay. Yeah, hit the target.
135.
But you just wonder if James Wade was stood right behind him watching there. Maybe it's just something to shake James Wade off his throat. We don't know what's going through the heads of the players when they're up there, but was it frustration and was just a fluke that they were in the treble 19, or was it a bit of showmanship?
Well, either way, he's 4-2 down here.
100.
And Peter Wright needs all the help he can get from this German crowd right now, and they've just dropped the decibel levels, haven't they? There's a bit of a lull again sweeping across the Sparkassen Arena.
59.
James Wade. Now it's his turn to go through a bit of a rocky patch in this particular leg, but he is
99.
still in a very, very good position indeed. Wright's down to a big finish, but it looks as though he'll have 6 darts from there to claw one back.
45. Peter require 167.
Well, I think James Wade should just write this one off and move on.
Well, Dan Dawson was making the point earlier on. He doesn't mind what margin when he loses legs, James Wade. He doesn't see
60.
really any insult in being miles behind and having wasted energy. I know you should never give up in a leg. But what I'm saying is a school of thought is that however many darts you go out in, you get one leg. And that's often why we see the disparity in averages.
Double 16.
91.
Yeah, like a self-preservation exercise to an extent as well, isn't it?
It's hard to concentrate for the duration of the time you're up there, but now he's looking to land a blow just to apply some pressure.
Because Peter Wright has missed darts at doubles on a fairly regular basis so far this evening. He's missed double 8 there. But he's on target with the
Peter
second.
Wright, for James to throw first.
But all of a sudden, James Wade just put on a little bit of a spurt there and was just waiting to pounce just in case. But Peter Wright trims the deficit to 4-3. And once again, it's another shrug of the shoulders and purse lips from James Wade after another below par visit.
And Peter Wright in the background, stalking around the back of the stage, just give himself a little G up there when he heard the call of 59 from George Noble, the match official.
140.
And he has taken a decent advantage.
$140.
Well, that's more like it from James Wade. There's the chief orchestrator of the crowd once again. He's having a busy day today. He was here this afternoon as well, leading the singing.
132.
Both players just seem to have found a bit of rhythm in this 8th leg. Both players hitting the trebles more frequently.
Sensible shooting from Wade. Gets himself down to a finish, knowing that he's in danger of being broken here. So has to give himself an out.
Well, he took out 158, didn't he? And if he can do that, 170 is within grasp, especially with Wright just showing 1 or 2 signs here as well of losing his way.
He may not need to now after Wright throws that stray dart.
79.
He has found a treble with the last one.
170.
Part 1. Part 2 is accomplished as well. James Wade looking at the bullseye for a sickener for Peter Wright.
145.
Well, what a blow that would have been.
He moved it. We saw it move. Now Peter Wright. Well, if he doesn't take this out, James Wade's going to have 2 darts at double 10 to move 5-3 ahead.
And that would leave Wright in a huge, huge hole.
Well, part 1. Oh, he doesn't get part 2. And James Wade will be coming back for his favourite double 10.
98.
Hit double 15 to win the final, didn't he, in Hildesheim, did Peter Wright?
Yeah, he's got to land single 5 first, Wade. No problem there. And trusty 10th again. And Peter Wright now is on the brink of an exit here for the quarter-final stage. And James Wade looking to end a run of 8 straight defeats against the world number 3.
Yeah, this is a big, big problem now for Peter Wright. The champion in Hildesheim last month is on the verge of going out here at the quarter-final stage. He has dug himself out of holes many, many times before, especially on the Euro circuit as well. I recall an astonishing fight back against Steve West last year also, towards the end of the campaign, when the crowd played their part. They don't seem to be playing their part as much today, though, here for Peter Wright.
Captivated by what's going on in front of them. Maybe saving a bit of energy for what's still to come, which is Simon Whitlock against Michael Smith, and then Barney against MVG. And then the small matter of semis and the final. But right here, right now, James Wade 1 leg
60.
away.
Well, Wade has the insurance policy of knowing that he will be throwing first in the next leg if it goes that far.
140.
Well, it's looking likely to. And Wade maybe just going through the motions of this one. Limbering up for the big leg to follow. 25. Yeah, 25 does leave 96, which is what you were about to say until I
46.
almost literally took the words out of your mouth.
Well, it looks as though we are heading into a 10th leg, which Wade will kick off. But Wade's just looking to apply some more pressure here. And wouldn't you just know it, there is a huge amount riding on this visit from Peter Wright now, 75 away.
Well, he did that before, James Wade, didn't he, when Wright was on double 8? He hit then, but he's only got 1 dart this time.
55.
And he has not hit now. And James Wade is on the brink of a victory that's been a long time coming. Double top. And there it is. James Wade ends a run of 8 straight defeats against Peter Wright. And the man who won the first European Tour title will not be winning the second.